Writer Thomas Fuller once said, "A good archer is known not by his arrows, but by his aim." Hello, all. Welcome back to yet another episode on SSB Crack Talks. I am Anuradha, and in today's session, we are going to meet a brilliantly talented young woman who is not only an international athlete, a world champion, a World Cup medalist, and an Asia Cup winner in archery, but also CDS OTA 2 2021 All India rank holder second position, who got recommended in her very first SSB attempt, the bullseye. She is none other than the sports celebrity, Miss Divya Dhayal. Hi Divya, how are you?
Hello, ma'am. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine as well. First of all, Divya, on behalf of SSB Crack Talks, I want to welcome you heartily here. Thank you for giving us such a precious time, spending your time with us and sharing your experiences about the SSB attempt that you have gone for. Since you're also the CDS OTA 2 2021 AIR-2 rank holder. So it's a pleasure having you with us today. So the thing is that you got recommended for the very first attempt in your SSB. So how are you feeling after getting recommended?
I'm feeling really great. I had been preparing for this for the past 1 year. So it was a very happy moment for me.
So on the result day, when you gave information about that you got selected to your friends and your family members, how did they react to your success?
They were very happy. I told my parents first, and they were very happy. And then I didn't have to tell my friends. Somehow they just got to know, and then I started getting messages. They were, I think, they were in fact more happy than I was.
Right. So you are a sports celebrity. As we can see, you have won a lot of championships, including World Cup as well as the Asia Cup as well for archery. So, being a sports celebrity, why you chose defense over your sports career?
Actually, before I got into sports, I've come from an army background. My father is in the army. So I was actually pretty close to the army environment. And right since my childhood, before even I got into archery, it was my dream to go in the army and to wear a uniform. So that's how, even though I got into sports and I've done well, but my dream has always been to be in the army.
Okay, so being an army brat, how you got help from your own family or your father, as you just now said, your father is in the army. So how he helped you to achieve your dreams?
Uh, Definitely, there was a lot of support. My parents, my family, my friends, all of them were told me that it's your dream and you're made for it, so you should go for it. And my father, he's himself gone through the SSB process, so he helped me out. He guided me. He told me what the attitude should be. So like that, definitely, I think the support is the biggest thing.
Okay, who motivated or what motivated you to join defense from the very early childhood?
Uh, I think it was the environment. My father was like this role model figure for me, and not just him. There were so many officers around us all the time. So that right from my childhood, I had a dream that that was my motivation. Just being around them, and they were an inspiration for me.
Okay, so you are AIR-2 rank holder in CDS OTA 2 2021. So how did you prepare for this written exam of CDS?
For the written exam, I had started preparing. I've been preparing for about a year before I gave my exam. And I started with, I got a book, I got to know the syllabus. But I think the most important thing is to analyze the previous year questions because the syllabus of the exam is very vast. So you can't just go about studying everything. So eventually, I zeroed down, I will tell you subject wise how I did it. So for science, I did my ninth and 10th standard NCRT. Now I'm a commerce student, so I had to do all that history, geography, everything again. So that's why I kept science limited to ninth and 10th. I didn't go to 11th, 12th NCRTs because that's too much. And normally people say that you should study from 6 to 12, but that's not important. You can simply do 9, 10th NCRT if you're not a science student, and that's actually it's more than enough. And for my geography, I did my 11th standard NCRT, the two books, physical geography and Indian geography. And I also did world mapping. So world mapping I did from YouTube, and even if you just put a world map and you analyze it, it's more than enough. So that's how I did my geography. For history, I did my 12th standard NCRT, ancient, medieval, and modern. And for political science, Lakshmikant is uh, said thing. And economics, I did micro and macroeconomics. So that's how I covered my subjects. And revision is key. So revising again and again is what helped me. So that's how I went about my preparation.
Okay, so I think the audience who's watching us now is getting a lot of information from you about which books they can refer to.
Yeah.
So my next question is, you are, as I said, you are AIR-2. So what special preparation you did to achieve that rank?
Well, I think it's about time management because, like I said, the syllabus is very vast. So you can't do everything. For just picking the books that I did and then revising it again and again is very important. And surprisingly, actually, most people don't believe it, but I didn't read newspaper for my current affairs, for my CDS, for the written exam at least. For SSB, I did, but for my written exam, I didn't read the newspaper because it wasted a lot of time. I would just look at these daily current affair videos that SSBCrack puts up, and that really helped me. So I think that is the key to select smart studies, and revision is the key.
So did you know that you will be a rank holder?
Oh no, that was very unexpected actually. I was just hoping that I'll come in top 16 because if you think about it, the amount of people who apply for it, as compared to that, the vacancies are actually quite less. So I felt like I should just get into the merit somehow. So it was definitely very unexpected, but I'm very happy.
So whom do you want to give credit to for this AIR-2 rank?
I want to give credit to everybody who helped me, my parents, and of course all the channels that I had through which I got to prepare, and of course my friends. They helped me out. I have some of my friends who are preparing for civil services, so they really help me, push me, and tell me that yeah, you have to keep studying. This is how you crack it. So I think everyone played an important role.
Well, that's really nice to hear. I mean, you were not alone in it. Everybody was there. So
Yes,
together
definitely.
you people achieved it. So
Yes.
my next question is for those of the defense aspirants who are going to take their CDS examination, in the upcoming, not also the upcoming, yes, but
Hmm.
in their near future. So how or what kind of suggestions you want to give to those aspirants who want to take CDS exam?
I would say for the examination itself, what is very important is, like I said, to select your subject. Now, for women, especially, I would say because we have only two papers, we have GK and English. English should be your strong hold because that will give you the maximum marks. And for GK, do a lot of revision. And although it's a lot to say, but then it's important to cover every subject, I would say. If not every subject, then at least you can leave out one or two subjects, but cover most of the subjects because otherwise you won't make it to the merit. For men who are also giving a maths paper along with that, I would say take the subject that you're good at and do it very well. And current affairs is a must because it has quite a lot of weightage also. So do current affairs and do a set of subjects. Like if science, then do all the three subjects of science or arts. So do that and do that properly.
Very valuable suggestions, Divya. Thank you for that. So I hope that those of you who are watching this, serious aspirants, I must say, please use these tips. This will be really very helpful for you people. So now my next question to you, Divya, is about SSB. So how you prepared for your very first SSB attempt?
Um, Actually, for my SSB, I had started preparing even before I gave my written exam, in the sense that I had just bought a book and I got to know about the procedure. And then, starting from the very first thing is the OIR. I bought a book for that and I started solving papers and doing it with the time limit. So that's very important in OIR. And then for my psychology, I took help of, once you've seen some examples from a couple of books, you know what kind of story or sentence or reaction they want you to write. So after that, it's all about how much you practice, especially for that. So after that, I took help of YouTube. I would do practice sets every day, and that's how I build up on my psychology. And for my GK, for GD and lecturate and all that part, I read the newspaper. So I started reading the newspaper after I cleared my exam. And then, you need to have an opinion for a lecturate or for a GD. So for that, you need to read articles in the newspaper. So I read newspaper, and that really helped me. I saw some current affair, certain topics that are upcoming. I saw videos for that. So that's how I prepared for my GD. And of course, when the obstacles and all of that comes, then I saw videos and I had an idea about how to use that fata bali thing and solve those obstacles. So that's how I did.
Okay, so many of the candidates face a bit of difficulty in personal interview because that's
Mhm.
completely face to face individual thing. So, can you remember how your personal interview were and what kind of questions you faced?
So my personal interview was, I would say it was a good interaction. It was a happy interaction, and it went by really quickly. I didn't. It was for about 50 minutes, and it. I didn't realize how fast the time went by. He asked me, I was asked questions related to current affairs, certain what are the upcoming events that are happening, some defense acquisitions that are happening. And then I was asked why you want to join the army. But something very surprising about my interview is that my interviewing officer, he didn't ask me a single question about archery or my sport. So I was very surprised. I was just waiting. When is he going to ask me? And I'll tell him. But he knows, they know better. They know that I know everything to everything about archery. So there's no point asking me about that. So he kept me engaged in things that I was not so, he felt that I'm not so comfortable with, like, current affairs. And then, of course, he asked me, why do you want to, just like you did, he asked me, if you are doing so well in sports, then why do you want to join the army? So such questions were asked. There was a lot of probing in the sense that any answer I would give, a lot of times he would ask me, oh, are you sure? Are you sure? Repeatedly. So basically to check my confidence. So of course, interview is like one of the most important things in the entire SSB process. But after giving my interview and after getting recommended, I realized it's really not about your knowledge. Yes, you have to know, of course, if you're going to the army, you will, uh, without even putting an effort, you know a few things. And I think like that's more than enough. What's more important is how you handle a question whose answer you don't know. So that I was able to do confidently and I was calm. So I think that played a very important role.
Okay, so I was going to ask the questions that whether he or she asked you about the archery, but you
Yeah,
said
yeah.
that was really
Yeah,
surprising even for
yeah.
me. So, my next question is about that only. How your brilliant achievements like World Championship, World Cup, Asia Cup have helped you getting recommended in SSB?
Being not just for me, I think any sports person, the fact that we are continuously participating in tournaments, we are preparing, so that habit of planning systematically, how to go about to achieve a goal, and then setting up a challenge for yourself. I feel like not just in sports, even if you're stepping into that SSB, it's like you are taking up a challenge. So that's in itself a very big thing. And that practice of overcoming challenges, challenging yourself and performing your best. I think that habit really helps to perform well in everything that you do. And of course, the fact that in sports there's so much of pressure, and especially in a sport like archery, it's a mental sport. Handling pressure, shooting a right arrow at the right time, shooting in the 10. So that pressure, being able to handle that pressure, if you're in the habit of that, then you're able to do that in any situation. So these experiences really helped me perform well in SSB as well.
Brilliant. So I was just thinking that how you could have, aim at a certain point and hit it. So you did just like that in the SSB itself, right? So it was a bullseye and you hit it at the very first attempt. So my next question is for those of the aspirants again who are preparing for their upcoming SSB interview. Do you want to give them certain important tips that they should adopt so that they can also get recommended like you in their SSB?
I feel that in the SSB process, the psychology part is something that's really in your hands. As such, you really, I think it's hard to tell how many marks you're going to get in SSB. So, psychology, I think, is one thing that's in your hands where you can really perform your best. So, practicing psychology every day is very important, especially word association test, because that's when you're in your SSB, then you want to write the best sentence you can, but the time's still the same. You still get just 10 seconds. So, you don't want to miss out on anything. So, practicing that every day is really important. And I would say the other than just the written part, the group tasks that happen and the interview, it's about speaking, right? You have to know how to speak confidently. So speaking in front of the mirror, what I would do is I would just take a topic and give myself maybe 30 seconds to think about it, and I would just speak. I wouldn't even set a time limit. Just speak a lot. Take a story. Don't bother writing out what the story is. Just give yourself 30 seconds to think what the story will be and then narrate the story. So speaking a lot really helps because in the interview you're anxious. But if you've practiced speaking enough, then you will still speak well, even if you're anxious. So that's what I would say.
Okay, so now my question is about the screening itself because as you know, if you're screened in, you are there for the rest of the four
Yeah.
to 5 days. But if you're not, you're going home. So I want to ask you, it was your very first SSB attempt. You have never gone to any SSB before this.
Yes.
So how you prepared for the screening part?
For the screening, see, firstly the OIR. Now, I knew that my calculation speed is a bit slow, so I practiced with the timing a lot. That's very important. And even when I went there, when I went for the SSB, the OIR, I didn't waste my time solving every question. Because every question carries 1 point. You just do whatever questions you know first, and then you go back to the ones you don't know, or those which will take time. So that's how I did my OIR. And in story, it's about imagination. If you keep your mind open, then you will write a story that is relevant to the picture, and that's very important because everyone at the end of the day comes up with a good story. But what is important is that your story should be relevant to what is shown in the picture. So that I practice stories, of course. And then I would say the most important part in screening is the narration. Because in the GD, people will cut you off, but that narration part is the only time you have to really show that you can speak well. So, especially the first 10 seconds in that narration, you have to like, really speak confidently so that you grab the attention of the assessors. So, narration is what I practiced a lot confidently. Uh, Even if I didn't give myself time to remember a story also, try not remembering a story, just speaking. So put yourself in every situation possible, and that's how I prepared in. And of course, GD, you have to participate. Nobody will give you a chance to speak, but you still have to try. So that's how I prepare.
So in the screening, specifically in the PPTT part, in which part, like as you can understand, three parts, right? Story
Yeah.
writing, narration, and GD. Which part you felt a bit, difficulty?
Um, I felt that the GD initially was very chaotic. I was somehow, some of my friends told me, oh, you're a first timer, it's going to be very easy. But the thing is that everybody just wants to speak. And there's some people who come with the intention that even if I don't have anything to speak, I just have to keep speaking. So they'll just say, "Oh, I agree," and that's a lot of noise. So initially, I started speaking, but there was so much of noise that there was nobody was letting me speak. Like anybody, you couldn't hear anybody. So that is natural. I realized that. Then our group was divided, and then I got a chance to speak. I spoke 2 3 times, and among that, I didn't speak too much. I didn't speak 4 5 times. I spoke about 3 times, and in that I was 2 times I was heard properly, and I said a long line, and it was whatever I said. It was quite logical. So I think that was a bit challenging at first, but then I got a hang of it.
Okay, okay. So that was really nice. So as a first timer, you did really well, I would say. And the thing is that if you're speaking a lot, people will get irritated and disturbed. And I think speaking 2 to 3 times, but valid points, that's what they want,
Hmm.
which you did, of course. So my next question is, in your journey, who was your biggest strength and support?
Uh, I feel like my family was a big support to me. My father is definitely my inspiration, but my mom and I, we worked hard together for my SSB. So my mom, she would take my interviews every day, and she would also, I mean, of course, I would go and narrate a story to her. So my mom was with me all the time, and I think that was a very big support.
Okay, I now personally think that giving your interview to the interviewing officer is better than giving interview to your mother, because she will grill you a lot.
Yeah.
That was a really good practice on your side, I would say. Good practice for you. Okay, so, Divya, my next question is, tell us something about your daily routine and how you were able to follow up and achieve the goal through following the daily routine.
Um, so initially for my written exam, I was not specifically leaving any time for my SSB preparation. And I'm into sports, so I have my tournaments and all coming up. And I'm also in college, so I had my college studies also. So my day went about like start, I would get up in the morning, go for a run, go to the gym. Then I would come back and I would go for my archery training. And after that, my entire morning session, in the sense that after my practice, and then I would come back and study my college lectures, whatever were happening. Uh, After that, in the evening, I would go again for practice. And the remaining time after my evening practice up till dinner, about 4 to 5 hours in a day, I would prepare for CDS, the exam. So that's how I prepared for CDS. That was my routine during CDS preparation. And then when I got my call letter and my exam got cleared, I started preparing for SSB. So normally I would just work on reading my newspaper every morning. And of course, my gym never stops. So that is a thing that happens that takes away 2 hours of my morning routine. So that, and then in the evenings, I would practice my psychology test. I would practice OIR, and I would see some videos, uh, practice speaking in front of the mirror. So my entire day went about like that.
Okay, so my next question is about your hobbies. What are your hobbies and how hobbies helped you in getting recommended in SSB? Like, did they help really?
Well, I I like doing gym, so and I also like running a lot. So that fitness, not just for SSB, I think for everything, being fit really helps you. So that helped me. And other than that, I like traveling because of my sport. I have to travel every 2 months, 1 month somewhere. So I think meeting new people gets you in the habit of talking, and uh, gets you in the habit of being in situations that are new. And more or less indirectly, that really helps you build your personality. So I would say it did help me in my SSB as
Okay, so my next question is also more or less similar like the hobby question. My next question is about how your participation in international sports and tournaments helped you in your SSB preparation as well.
well. That's the thing, the habit of being in a routine, being uh, participating in tournaments. Firstly, the exposure, it uh, turns your personality into a very open one. And because I was participating in tournaments, and when I would win a medal, then I would have interviews, and I was used to that. So in my interview also, I was not very anxious because I have given interviews before, so that was fine. I was okay with that. But it was my first job interview, but still the interview being interviewed is feels the same. Um, but other than that, I think the discipline of being in sports that really helps you build your routine when you're preparing for something like SSB. So that's how it helps.
Okay, so you're basically a sports celebrity. So do you think that being a celebrity that has really helped you in your getting recommended, or is there anyone who can do it?
Anyone can do it. I'm telling you. It's that I have seen international players. Even in my batch, there was an international player. She was great, but unfortunately, she couldn't get recommended. There were people who were simply doing graduation. They got recommended. So it's not about how much of achiever you are. It's about if you've really achieved, then it will show in your personality, and that's what matters. They look at your personality. So I don't think it's anything that you have to be a celebrity to get recommended. That's not true at all. Anybody can get recommended.
Okay, so my next question is about the SSB venue. As you went for the SSB Bhopal, tell us something about your experience there, and tell us if you have any tips for those who are going to SSB Bhopal for their SSBs.
So Bhopal, it's a very good center. It's it's huge, and the building in which we have our interview and our psychology, it looks very British time, and it looks like a palace. You'll really enjoy it there. I really enjoyed. I think the food was great. The accommodation was good. My friends were good, and the staff that are there, they're very helpful. So I don't think there should be any problem for anybody who goes to Bhopal. I think all SSB centers as such are more or less the same. And I think the tip I would give is have fun, enjoy the place. There's a basketball court and there's a tennis court. So play the sports and enjoy, have fun.
Okay, so my next question is about your groups. As you just now said that I had a lot of friends over there. So, what do you think that your group helped you also in your recommendation, and what kind of group bonding you had with your own group there?
I think the group plays a very important part in our recommendation, and more than recommendation, I would say screening. Because my group in screening, we were really cooperative, and because I was a first timer, I was paired with first timers, and for all of us, it was quite new. So the fact that we were cooperative with one another, we came up with a story really quickly. We came to a conclusion very quickly. It just maybe 3 to 4 minutes into the discussion, and we had already come up with a story. So a lot of people from my group got screened in. About five of us got screened in. So, and even in my after I got screened in the group that I had, uh, we were all first timers. It was new, and we were very cooperative. And eventually, when we did the tasks together, we there was a lot of understanding between us. People were not interrupting that much. We were giving each other a chance, and we were able to finish our FGT much before the time also. So our GTO is very happy with us. So I think the group does play an important part. And apart from all that, they also keep you motivated. They also give you tips. So that's I think it's a really helpful thing if you have a good group.
I think the group bonding gets to show itself more in group tasks, right?
Yes,
I
it
mean,
does.
how much you have
Definitely.
that bonding with your group,
Yeah.
that's really visible.
Yes.
Okay, so my next question is about which task you think you have performed the best in SSB and which task you were not able to give your very best.
The best task, I would say I was able to do well in all tasks, especially in terms of what I had expected. I was able to do that much or even better in every task, whether it's the interview, all the group tasks. And I was happy with my psychology also. I was able to, do all my VATs, and I did 57 SRTs. So, but that was fine for me. And I was able to make good stories. So I was happy with all of my performance there. About what the task that didn't go so well. I mean, I think that all tasks went well, but initially when we had our PGT, because we were all first timers, and seeing it on a YouTube video is different. But when you're actually doing it, you need to uh, really get your ideas working. And we were just talking and talking, talking for 10 minutes. We didn't cross the first obstacle, and our group testing officer, he was not happy with us initially. Later on, we did well. So I think that was one thing that starting made was not very, it didn't go very smooth.
Okay, right. So that was a bit, sad for you people. You thought you people were feeling a bit nervous, like
No,
how
it's
we can
just that
start and all, right?
no, we were so involved. Everybody was giving their own opinion. Oh no, we should do this. Oh, we should do this, and they were not really doing anything. We were just talking. No, this won't work. Oh, this will work. It was like that.
Okay, so execution part was a bit less.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So my next question is, who's your role model?
Role model. I take inspiration from a lot of people. It doesn't have to be a very famous person. My friends, my family, my teammates, whoever I have, I think there's something in them I can always learn from. So I look up to anybody or anywhere I can find inspiration.
Okay, that's really nice. So, how SSB crack exams helped you in your preparation? And if you want to recommend SSB crack exams to any defense aspirant, how much you will recommend this to them?
Well, like I said, that as much as it sounds surprising, I didn't read the newspaper for my current affairs. And I did, I think I was able to get most of the current affairs that were there. There's obviously some that are there in the paper that you will not read. So you can't do anything about that. But SSB crack, the daily current affair videos of Zahir sir, I used to watch that, and it really helped me. I was able to just, there were these monthly compilations. I would just write down the notes, and I would prepare it the day before my exam. So that my current affair part really, I would give all the credit to your SSB or current affair videos. So I would say that definitely, if you, because there are some things in the newspaper I feel that are not covered, and I was not very satisfied with that. I wanted that if I'm spending 1 hour in the day, then I should be able to cover all the current affairs. So I would suggest for any aspirant that definitely uh, the guidance that you get is from experts who have gone through the entire syllabus and process, and they will be able to save your time. So that's a good thing.
Okay, so my last question is, you're going to join the academy now. So, what are your plans that you want to achieve before joining the academy?
Well, before joining, like everybody, I've been suggested by everybody that you must be fit, you must stay in the best of your health. So my gym is going on, and I'm taking care of my fitness. But I think before I join, I just want to chill a little bit. So I'm just relaxing, doing gym every day. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much, Divya, for your precious time. And as I have said, you have taken a bit of your precious time out for us and have shared such a beautiful experience that you had. And you are AIR-2 rank holder, as I said, and you are like you have getting recommended. You got recommended in your very first SSB attempt, so that's a really surprising thing. We are very happy to have you here with us, and we wish you all the best for your upcoming bright future. I hope that you don that uniform that you have been seeing from the very childhood, also on your father. You'll see that uniform now on yourself. So thank you a lot, Divya, for joining with us today.
Thank you
We
so much.
again hope a very good future for your upcoming, career. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
ma'am. Thank you.